Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:07. It's O'Connor and Company, day before Election Day in Virginia, New Jersey, Manhattan, and a couple of other places around the country. But those are the high-profile races. It's Larry O'Connor with Julie Gunlock. And Julie, you know, at this time we need a salve, we need an ointment, we need a calming influence to heal the conservative movement. Don't you think? You know who I'm talking about.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
The guy who is everybody's friend. And he's the spokesperson for Yacht Rock writ large across this nation. He is, of course, the host of the Sean Spicer Show, seen daily at 6 p.m. on all platforms and downloadable on demand. He is the one and the only. He is my friend, Captain Sean Spicer. Captain?
That was so beautiful. I need to go into the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Center and have a moment. Please hand me the remote. Hand me the remote to the GarageDoorRemote.com center so I can have a moment.
Are you crying and emotional, or are you having a mental fit?
Or are you having a cocktail?
That's a little early, even for an Irish guy, just to be clear.
We have a lot to talk to Sean Spicer about, including a career development for him. But first, can you put your political analyst hat on? I said it before. I don't think there's anyone in this town who is as plugged in and as informed and experienced as you are, Sean Spicer, at least who will still talk to me. What is your day before Election Day analysis of things in Virginia? I'm starting to get the hunch that the GOP ticket peaked a little early. What do you think?
Yeah, first, big hat tip to Heather Hunter for reading the prompt exactly as I sent over. But look, I kind of wonder if you're right. The Jay Jones thing scandal, I called it the Terry McAuliffe moment of this cycle. I honestly think that they didn't capitalize enough on it. I think Jason Miyares did, the candidate for Attorney General. I have a feeling he's going to be okay, probably by a couple points. And just remember, Larry, I mean, the end of the last time, they said that there would be a Democratic sweep. Terry McAuliffe would be returned to office. Yes. They would take the LG. And it was barely over the finish line. Terry McAuliffe lost that race. And the bottom line is, I thought we were going to be in a very similar situation. I think going from bottom to top, Miyares, I think, will be okay, probably by 2-3 points. John Reed, the lieutenant governor candidate, to me is sort of my generic ballot test. Neither side has spent a ton of money. Neither side has resources. So people are going out there pretty much voting straight. You know, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who his opponent is. And so right now, that's a dead even race. If John Reed wins, I think Winsome Sears, the Republican, could still pull it out barely. But the Republicans have to hope that they have a solid turnout operation in the next 24 hours. There's been what they call a 72-hour task force from the RNC where they put a lot of resources, knocking on doors, making sure that when they call a voter, okay, what's your plan? Are you voting early? Do you have a ride to the polls? Those are the kind of critical things. I always say that the GOTV, the get out the vote efforts, are worth a field goal. So if they can really get their act together in a lot of these places, Jay Jones might have been the anchor around them politically that will let Republicans slip over. But I think that from the bottom up, it gets better. You know, it goes from, it's like the Three Little Bears. It went, you know, that one's good, the next one's okay, and then the hard part is going to be pulling it over the top.
Yeah.
Well, they're certainly desperate. You've got Obama rallying here in Virginia, and have to say I was surprised that Jay Jones was on stage. He was on stage.
Are you though? Are you?
I am, Sean, because they have. Wait. Jay Jones.
She took his name off the bus.
She took his name off the bus. I mean, he's been kind of in the background.
Right. But just to be clear, the NAACP endorsed the white woman over the black Republican because they care about race that much. I mean, what if you can't be? If there's something that didn't surprise you, it was the NAACP saying that we're going to endorse Abigail Spanberger over the first black woman to lead the state that was the head of the Confederacy. Are you kidding me?
Also, and this is Obama. Obama last year was admonishing black men for not voting for Kamala, and now he's totally reversed. You don't have to vote for the black woman. Oh, my God.
I wish it's a shame this is radio because you can't see my shocked face. I mean, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. But, yeah, I mean, they get it. I think here's what I will just say is my last, to Virginia voters. Understand this. They currently have a one-seat majority in the House of Delegates. All 100 seats are up. The state Senate is not. And just keep in mind, there will be a radical transformation of the Commonwealth if you give Democrats complete and utter control of the state. And, by the way, one last thing that I got to say. New York City just started early voting a week ago. Virginia's been voting early for 45 days, which is insane. Most people voted, 355,000 people who voted before you even realized what a horrible person Jay Jones was.
Yeah, it's an abomination. That needs to, but it won't change. In fact, they're going to go even crazier with the early voting and all that garbage, having full Democrat control should the governor win, Abigail Spanberger win the governor's seat tomorrow. Let's look up north. How's New Jersey looking for Republicans?
Depends on who you talk to. I think Jack Ciattarelli is back running. He lost by 3 points last time to the current incumbent governor, who's term limited, Phil Murphy. I think that he's got a really good shot here. Their turnout operation is great. He's done very well in northern New Jersey with key constituencies that should bode well for Democrats. There's a huge group of Orthodox Jews that have definitely been have had a history of voting for the Democrat that all endorsed Ciattarelli. I feel very good about his chances. Again, this is all going to come down to who gets out their vote in the last, 24 hours. So I think he's on the precipice of doing this, and I think it's a very unique state. And one thing, though, if you want to continue to go north, the one thing that I will tell you about New York City that anyone who tells you knows who's going to win. Actually, Larry, there's five boroughs. It's Manhattan.
5
one
boroughs.
of them.
Yes.
It's all of all of New York City. So just please.
I know. I said Manhattan. Thank you for correcting me. That's good to know. Yeah.
But the thing that's interesting is that all these polls are a waste of time because polls are based off voter data. So tell me the scenario in which you're basing the data that says, hey, you've got a progressive nutjob, communist, terrorist-loving socialist as the Democratic nominee and the former scandal-plagued New York governor as a Democrat running as an independent. There's no model in which you can do that. I think it's a lot of guessing right now. But at the end of the day, I think the turnout right now, you've got a really high number of young people turning out in key areas that bodes well for Mondami. I just think this is going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be.
Interesting. But it's impossible to track because if you voted and you're a Democrat, they're all Democrats, right? And
correct. I mean, exactly. So when
even Republicans are choosing to vote for one of the Democrats.
I have more classmates of mine that have sent me screenshots saying, I did something I never thought I'd do. Not just vote for a Democrat, but vote for a Cuomo. And it's just that I think that they're like, hey, I can't help this is too much. And you saw President Trump on Air Force One saying, if the choice is between a communist and a scandal-plagued Democrat, I'll take the scandal-plagued Democrat.
Hey, Sean, do you have a couple more minutes for us? Because I want to ask you about
gosh. Yeah, why not? I got nothing else going on.
Well, I mean, you said it, not me. Dude hasn't had a real job since 2017, for crying out loud. It's 8:15 WMAL.
WMAL, making sense of the news. Live from the Home Paramount Pest Control Studios. Home Paramount, the leader in pest control since 1939.
Sean Spicer can be seen on YouTube. Sean M. Spicer is the name of the channel, but just search Sean Spicer and you'll see his show every night at 6 p.m. Also, he was very jealous of me running and completing the Marine Corps Marathon, so he had to take to social media and say, yeah, I ran it, 30 years ago, so, I can do it too. You haven't run it in a while, though, have you, Sean?
Hey, once you run it twice, back to back, just saying. Not sick, God. O'Connor.
Yeah. I mentioned that he hasn't had a real job since 2017. That was August when he was replaced at the White House by who replaced you again? I'm just curious. I forgot.
No one replaced me, but Sarah went after me.
All right. Yeah. I believe it was Scaramucci, wasn't it? It reached the point where Scaramucci was brought in?
No, Scaramucci was comms director.
Oh, all right.
I was press secretary. It's okay. I know this is a show that's supposed to...
that we're splitting hairs now. That said, one of the things you did post your White House duties was Dancing with the Stars. And I think it's noteworthy to bring this up because tomorrow is a big anniversary for Dancing with the Stars. And is it true that you're going to be a part of this?
Well, actually, God, see, I know these little facts things. First, you didn't get the jobs right. No, it's next Tuesday, not this one, tomorrow.
Oh.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so the following Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, and what's happening? What do you do? Elaborate.
It's the 20. It's the 20. I'm working on some choreography, some new outfits. We'll see how this all goes. I mean, there's a whole Screen Actors Guild issues, and I'm working through a lot of the legalities.
They're actually going to let you dance again? I just figured you'd be in the audience and they'd show you with 8 other losers.
Well, okay, technically that's what's happening,
but just in case the audience demands to see Sean Spicer.
I'm just saying security's not that tight, if you know what I mean.
That's fair. All right, good. I'd love to get you to comment on last night's 60 Minutes interview with President Trump. I was actually shocked to see him go back to 60 Minutes after he literally sued them for $30 million over the Kamala Harris interview. And they went and they did the same thing. They edited his interview again.
Yeah, so first of all, I agree. I thought he won the lawsuit. And then you've got, it was an hour and 17 minutes, or an hour and 13 minutes, and they condensed it to 27. I think it was fine, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of rewarding bad behavior. Now, I do understand there's new leadership, and to some degree, it's a hat tip to the new leadership. But to me, some of these things, it's like these legacy media outlets, I feel like are smoldering embers, and it's like instead of trying to revive them and give them some renewed life, I wish we would just stomp on them and put them out of their misery, right? So, stop going on Meet the Press, stop going on, Face the Nation. I mean, these are legacy outlets with left-wing hosts that are playing gotcha politics. I wish that our side would just sort of snuff them out so that people wouldn't watch them. I like watching Scott Bassett or Marco Rubio or whomever on the Sunday shows because I like watching them do political jiu-jitsu. But at the end of the day, I'd rather we just stop doing it. Everybody takes the Sunday off, reflects on it as God asked us to do, and then basically let them die a slow, television death.
By the way, you should be congratulated. Your New England Patriots, with the softest schedule in the NFL, barely survived a scare yesterday against the 3-5 Falcons. So congratulations.
Yeah, I believe they're in first place. Yeah. Anyway,
again, the softest schedule in the NFL. It's embarrassing.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
Yeah. How'd you guys do yesterday?
Well, both of my teams, the Lions and the Commanders, won their divisions last year, and so they've got very hard schedules, and they had some challenges. They had some challenges.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's fine.
Are you talking about the marathon again, or are you?
It's always good to talk with our friend Sean Spicer, and we're very excited to see you on Dancing with the Stars next Tuesday. And I'm sorry I got the date wrong, but
no, I know. My show notes over to Heather got at least partially done on the intros, which I'm grateful for. Yeah,
this is all on me. It's all on me, and it's my mistake because you told me about this when we were watching Yachtly Crew at the Birchmere, and I put it in my calendar based on what you told me, and it's my fault. I should have checked the facts.
Right, and also you might not have. I mean, I'm just saying the thumbs might not have been exactly coordinating that night. But anywho. Another story. And if you're interested in New Jersey or Virginia elections tonight, I've got Jim McLaughlin, the president's pollster, on, and John Reed, the lieutenant governor candidate, at 6:00. Nice. So you can tune in, get the latest on what's happening. The president will hold a teletown rally tonight at 7 for Virginia voters and one at 7:30 for New Jersey voters.
Sean Spicer, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, sir. Always good to talk with you.
Always a pleasure. Good to see you guys.
Don't give me that. It's 8:22.
Poor George Clooney. He has regrets that he backed word salad queen Kamala Harris. We'll give you the latest. Keep it here. It's 8:30.
WMAL FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. WMAL. News now. Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It is O'Connor and Company. It's 8:37 in 30 minutes. We're going to hand it off to Chris Plant. It's Larry O'Connor with Julie Gunlock this day before the election. By the way, I just want to doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Tomorrow, on Election Day, we will have Governor Glenn Youngkin.
Very cool.
One last push. Just because I've already forgotten who Sean Spicer's going to have on his show tonight. So I just wanted to reiterate, we will have the governor of Virginia on our program.
Yes. Always competing, you two.
Not at all. There's no competition. Trust me. There's no competition. All right. Looking in the rearview mirror, last year this week was Election Day 2024 when Kamala Harris went down to the most humiliating political defeat of modern American history. Way more humiliating than Hillary Clinton's humiliating loss, by the way, to Donald Trump. She did not win one. Think about Kamala Harris and how bad it was. She didn't have to deal with a primary or caucuses. She was handed the nomination. She was handed a war chest of $1.5 billion.
And she was going against a candidate who they were trying to throw in jail. They were trying to destroy. They were the media was 100% against him. I mean, could it have been easier for her?
She everything, and she keeps saying, "Oh, I only had 107 days, honey." The problem was that you had 107 days. If you had 50 days, you would have won. They got to know you every time you spoke.
Yes.
The high point was the first 30 days, okay? It was all downhill after that. She's if only I had more time. If you had more time, it would have been Reagan versus Mondale, for God's sake.
Right.
So it was just an absolute awful, horrendous performance by a politician in the modern era. And I want to reiterate, if Democrats weren't the racist, sexist monsters that they are, they would just hand her the nomination again and give her a longer runway to fail. That said, it is noteworthy that George Clooney, of all people, is now reflecting on the election, reflecting on the circumstances that put Kamala Harris in the position to be the nominee. And take a listen to what he has to say in retrospect. Cut 25.
Did you see Hunter Biden's?
Whoop. No, cut 26.
We had a chance. I wanted there to be, as I wrote in the op-ed, a primary. Let's battle test this quickly and get it up and going. I think the mistake with it being Kamala is that she had to run against her own record. And it's very hard to do if the point of running is to say, I'm not that person. You know, it's hard to do. And so she was given a very tough task. I think it was a mistake, quite honestly. But we are where we are.
It was a mistake. So the mistake was giving it to, but did he call her Kamala? Isn't that racist to call her Kamala?
He just hung up with Patrice.
Can we listen to that again? I thought we weren't allowed to call her Kamala.
We had a chance. I wanted there to be, as I wrote in the op-ed, a primary. Let's battle test this quickly and get it up and going. I think the mistake with it being Kamala is that she had to run against her own record.
Yeah,
it's on the verge there. It's on the border. By the way, I love that. First of all, what's with the first name basis? You mean Vice President Harris?
Yes.
He's such a power player.
Such a kingmaker.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
and what a political genius. Hey, in retrospect, maybe it was a mistake to give it to Kamala Harris.
Yeah, you know, these stars, they support people who will destroy the country, but that's okay because they live at Lake Como in Italy. Right?
He literally recently said, or in the same interview, he said, yeah, I'm living and raising my children in France. It's better there.
Because it's better there.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
after I've supported candidates who destroy the country.
Got it. He blows up this country over the last 20 years with his political affiliation with the Democrats and Barack Obama, and then he flees to France because he can afford it.
Yes. Isn't that nice?
He only goes to Lake Como when it's, is it Como? Lake Como when it's gets too cold
did
in
I say
France.
Cuomo?
Yeah, I think so. It's all right. So there's George Clooney. So, and by the way, he said, you know, as I wrote in my New York Times op-ed, which Obama sort of instigated, by the way.
Which you didn't write, by the way.
Which he didn't write. I wanted there to be an open process. There is no process. It was too late, you idiot. Everybody knew that if they were going to get rid of Biden, battle. How? Under what?
Okay.
If they were going to get rid of Biden, they had to give it to Kamala. There was no other option.
Because it was racist if you didn't. It was anti-woman if you didn't. And let's talk about that bench. Pete Buttigieg? I mean, come on. He's on maternity leave. You'll
remember that Hunter Biden came out after George Clooney in his podcast interview a few months ago. Well, let's remind you of that. Cut 26.
Him, and everybody around him. I don't have to be nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. George Clooney is not an actor. He is a like, I don't know what he is. He's a brand.
Honestly, it's hard to
If you want to know
argue.
what it's like during the break. Okay?
Exactly. How do you really feel, Julie? So George Clooney was asked to reply to Hunter Biden. Isn't he an actor? What the hell is this? What is even going on here? Mr. Clooney, please respond to the crackhead son of the former president here who said, bleep you. All right, here's his response. Cut 30.
Did you see Hunter Biden's reaction?
Yeah, I saw it.
What did you make of it?
Well, I could spend a lot of time debunking many of the things he said, because many of the things he said were just outright lies. You know, Obama didn't put me up to it. It wasn't my fundraiser. It was my fundraiser. All the things. But the reality is, I don't think looking backwards like that is helpful to anyone, particularly to him. I don't think it's helpful for the Democratic Party. And so I'm just going to wish him well on his ongoing recovery, and I hope he does well, and just leave it at that. I have many personal opinions about it, but I don't find it to be helpful to have a public spat with him. So
there you go. Well, listen, George Clooney.
After spending 10 minutes looking back.
Yes,
on the
of course,
race.
exactly.
He doesn't think it's smart to look back. Got it.
It's not. Well, listen, he's right. It's not wise to get into a public fight with a crackhead felon who obtains and keeps and then disposes of firearms against federal law. I mean, he is a lunatic after all.
Fair point.
Number one. But number two, listen, the takeaway here is that George Clooney is the most brilliant political mind the Democrats had. He's the kingmaker. He's the one who is anointing Wes Moore as the next nominee in 2028. And I will leave you with this. This is a quote of George Clooney, the kingmaker, the most brilliant political mind the Democrats have, the person that has more influence probably for the Democrat Party when it comes to presidential elections than any other single person. I will quote him now. This is from May of 2016. Quote now, "There's not going to be a President Trump." There you go. So why would you argue with a genius like that? It's 8:44.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
All right, over the weekend, Abigail Spanberger's last gasp here to try to get dragged across the finish line occurred with a Barack Obama rally. And I'm not kidding. It's a Barack Obama rally. It was not an Abigail Spanberger. So usually you bring in the big headliner and they give their speech and then they introduce the candidate. It was the opposite, Julie Gunlock. Abigail Spanberger came in and spoke, and then she said, "And now the real reason you're here." I mean, that's not exactly how she put it, but here, cut 31.
So please, will you join me in welcoming back to Norfolk the 44th president?
Yeah. Now that you're done hearing my voice, which sounds like nails on a chalkboard, let's bring in an actual gifted politician, Barack Obama, to help drag me across the finish line. That was weird. And by the way, Barack Obama obviously trying to energize the African-American vote, which he's had trouble with. Did you see the crowd? I mean, it was...
paid for?
and pretty white.
Oh, yes. Look.
We'll see. She needs the black vote in Virginia to win. I don't know if she's getting it.
And look, Obama does not have a good record. When he shows up and stump speeches for candidates, it does not go well. He does not have the draw that people think he does. He's more of a pop culture figure, but he doesn't turn them out.
It certainly didn't work for Kamala Harris. Cut 34. Take a listen.
And Abigail doesn't just believe in working with everybody. She also believes, and this is really important, in listening to everybody.
Sure.
Whether they voted for her or not.
Whether they want to kill your children or not. You know, this is, by the way, she wants to work with everybody. This was also Abigail Spanberger over the weekend.
You position yourself as a consensus builder, someone who works across the aisle. Would you work with President Trump on areas like job creation?
I think that, you don't work with the arsonist who burns down the house to rebuild it. And
there you go.
There you go.
So Obama's there saying she'll work with anyone. Will you work with the president for job creation? Hell no. She's a radical.
She is.
Yeah. It's 8:52.